Okay, I guess I can show you my daily driver. That is a 2013 Ram 1500 Express two-wheel drive, quad cab. All of that is because I'm cheap. I bought this truck, it was 3 years old. It had 33,000 miles on it, and I gave right at like 19.5 for it. It's got the Hemi in it. It's basic. I mean, it's the step above basic, which is good. It's got the nice wheels. It is in, I think they call it maximum steel metallic, which is pretty when it's clean, but we live in Oklahoma, and wind blows all the time. It's almost never clean. Even if you bathe it in an hour, it's got a layer of dust on it, and the hood's not shiny anymore, which is somewhat disappointing. If I had to do it again, I would probably hold out for a crew cab, just because I do have 3 kids, and while I don't have them in there very often, they're in there enough that it's just tight in the back seat. And then I'd buy a white one because it's so much easier to keep clean. But other than that, it's really pretty when it's clean. It's got lots of metallic in it. It's actually a really pretty color. It's just never gets to be clean. I like it. I've had Silverados, I've had F-150s. Again, I am not a brand loyal guy. Everybody built something that was cool. So I'm not going to, pound a drum for any manufacturer. I think everybody built something that was good. I like this one though. As far as full-size pickups that I've owned, it's probably one of my favorites. Goes down the road nice, rides nice, sounds good, runs good. Again, the only thing I would do is get the crew cab. Just that extra 1.5 feet of back seat would be nice. Ideally a crew cab with the 6.5 foot bed, just because I use it like a truck all the time. I'm always hauling lumber and stuff in it, and the little 5.7 or 5'7" beds just means that much more hanging over the back of it whenever I'm riding around hauling stuff from the lumberyard and whatnot. But I do enjoy it. You'll hear it when it starts. I've got a 44 Flowmaster underneath this too. It's got a little bit of heat shield rattle going on. And then it's got the Hemi broken exhaust manifold bolts exhaust leak on the driver's side that I need to pull the inner fender out and yank the manifold off and try to get the bolts out of it. That'd be the second set of bolts that I've, second round of exhaust leak on this truck. Other than that, I've had no issues with this truck. I like it. It's still pretty low mileage. It is a 2013. It has 91,000 miles on it. So it's still a pretty low mileage truck. It's cheap. I say it's cheap. In the full-size truck world, it's cheap. The crazy thing is right now, the way the market is, that thing books out for like 17 grand, which is insane because I only gave 19.5 for it. I can almost get what I put in it 5-6 years ago out of it. But it doesn't matter because I'd have to replace it with something. So, right now it's not costing me hardly anything. I do enjoy it. You'll hear it. It sounds really good. Except for the exhaust tick, but once it warms up, the tick goes away. One of these days I need to get the thing torn apart and get in there and try to fix it. But yeah, here you go. See, it sounds good. Again, I say it's way too nice for me. Whenever I was shopping for that, I shopped for 2 years because I was driving a 2011 Malibu that I had a pretty long commute there for a while. It was about 9,500 miles a day. And so I was driving a 2011 Malibu, which was a decent little car, probably the slowest thing I've ever owned in my entire life. It was the slowest car, but nice. It was LTZ, had leather. The only thing it didn't have was the hole in the roof. But when I stopped commuting, I was like, I need back in a truck, and so that the beater could be a toy and not a truck. And so I shopped for 2 years and found this one. Like I said, it was cheap. That's why I bought it. It's too nice for me, but it's reliable. I can get in it. I'll go anywhere with it. I'll take it, you know, I'll take it to New Mexico. I'll take it to Colorado. I'll take it wherever, because it's reliable. When I was shopping for it, I was actually trying to convince the wife that I needed a, you know, Fox Body Mustang for a daily, or I've had a thing for lowered crew cab dualies since I was a teenager, and unfortunately there's enough accountant in me that practicality outweighs fun quite often. Again, I've got a lot of people that rely on me to make good decisions, and sometimes those aren't the fun decisions. So again, practicality said, buy late model, low mileage that's going to get you where you need to go, and you can load the kids up safely and go anywhere in the country. That's what I did. Hopefully next year, we're going to be in a little better position, and that thing will still be low mileage enough that it will be it will still probably be a daily, but I'm going to do something. I keep saying I'm going to do something stupid automotively. We'll see if it comes to fruition. I still have to clear it with the accountant. But yeah, I like it. It's nice. It gets the job done. It's not flashy. It's not anything special. It's a little obnoxious early in the morning. I apologize to the neighbors on the regular basis around here, because I have the 2 noisy vehicles in the hood in the neighborhood, and it's, you know, I apologize on a fairly regular basis, saying I'm sorry that my junk's loud, but I'm not going to change it, so it'll be fine. You'll see the big giant pile of crap behind me. I've said before, this shop is falling down. It looks really nice on the outside, but this is a 30-year-old pole barn that was here before they developed the neighborhood. And when they developed the neighborhood, instead of, ideally what should have happened was tear the building down and either rebuild it or let it go. What they did was they wrapped it in pretty brick to match the house, which looks fantastic. And then they put decking and a composite roof on it, and so that it would match the house. They left the metal up there. As you can see, it is a pole barn with 5-foot wide stick-built trusses. And it has, because they added so much weight to the roof, it also had a drop ceiling in here, hanging from it, with all of that insulation and those ceiling tiles hanging from the ceiling too, from the roof too. So when, so now from point to point, so peak to peak on the ends, it's a 50-foot span. It has about a 7-inch sag. In the middle of it, there's no ridge beam. Everything about this is wrong. It's got a 7-inch sag in it that I can't get out of it without risk of the whole thing just going pop and falling down, probably. So that's the drop ceiling and the insulation for the roof, which means it's cold in here and hot in here like it used to not be. And then I added 2 beams out in the middle of it, 2 posts out in the middle of it, just to keep it from falling down. One of these days we gather up some money, I get at least one kid off of payroll, out of college. We'll see about the only way to fix the roof is go down to the walls and start over. It's not worth doing that because it is a pole barn. It doesn't look like a pole barn, but it's a pole barn, and those poles are 30 years old. So the poles have exceeded their life expectancy. It really ideally needs to come all the way to the ground and start over again. That's going to be significant amount of money. So as long as it's still standing here, I'm going to keep playing with it, but I need to get me a roll off or something, because I need to get, originally that was stacked all the way up to there. And, I've slowly been piecing it out of here, but it's just takes forever because, again, we're a family of 5. We create a large quantity of crap on the daily anyway. We don't need more stuff. But it's a mess. It takes up a lot of space. I need it to all go away. One of these days it will eventually go away. But yeah, this is my junk building that I like to hang out in. You can see just the top of it. That is Kid 2's daily. That's a bunch of, I got a woodworking bench back there that I do some carpentry stuff that's completely covered up right now. You can't see it. This is the Focus, this little red car here, is my son's high school car. It is a 2004 Focus. I gave $2,000 for it. Has 153,000 miles on it. It was a filthy, nasty pig that we gutted. I took it down to bare sheet metal inside, took carpet, seats, everything out of it, scrubbed it clean, put it back together. I buffed it out because the top of it was pink instead of red. And it cleaned up. It's got a few issues, but it's $2,000 car that I'm not going to be sad about if it gets dinged up in the high school parking lot, which I don't know why anybody would give any kid, anything that had any value to it, and then expect them to get around that parking lot. Because, I mean, my daughter was hit 3 times and she was sitting still in that parking lot when she was there. So it's, I don't understand why anybody spending your real money and then put it in that parking lot. But yeah, so this is it. This is the, that's the Focus. It's got an oil leak. It's got a trans leak. It's got a coolant leak. We're slowly making it better, but again, I'm not throwing much money at it. It runs, it drives, it has cold air. I put a doubled in radio in it so that he has Bluetooth capability and isn't playing on his phone. Other than that, I don't plan on doing much to it. He loves it, which is crazy. Yeah, I would be like, oh, it's a Focus. But he thinks it's fantastic, and ultimately, that's all that matters. He's happy with it. He can drive it. But yeah, all right. So I've wasted enough of you guys' time. I hope you had fun with this, and we'll talk to you later.